have to be very, very sure and very, very careful to know which one it's for us. Are we here? So for the meantime, we're going to continue what we're doing. We're getting the ripple effect and the result that we want. I told you guys, the board of directors, that we are growing from inside out. Are you here? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, I need that picture up, sir. So, welcome to... Can we start? Welcome to the August edition of the Breakfast Business webinar. And we're going to start on this note. So we are starting officially. So I need a picture up. Good morning, everybody. So officially, you're welcome to the August edition of the Breakfast Business webinar. Are we together? Are we together? We had an assignment last time. So can I get the feedback? Did you do your assignment? What was the assignment first? What will you do with it? Yes, see us. Please, let's get the second mic. Let's get the second mic. There's a second mic there. Sai. Bring it. Bring it. Okay. This is technical person, sir. Thank you.
Who is God?
Don't turn. Don't turn. Don't turn. You're only focused on me. Thank you.
Okay. If I'm being given 1 million naira, I should start a business or run a service. I will venture into logistics or I start e-commerce. I'm learning Forex. I invest in myself. Yes, or I start a cleaning service, probably laundry or house cleaning service.
Thank you very much. Take the mic for you. This is a class. If you're given a millionaire, what will you do? Bring it. Bring it. Be fast, we are late.
Okay, but I was given a million naira.
Yes.
I wrote my plans down, but I will split it into two.
Okay.
The first part to be invested in my business. Advertisement.
That means you already have an existing business.
Yes, advertisement.
So your 1 million naira will be split into two.
Yes.
500k here, 500k here.
Yes.
So 500k will go into your existing business.
Yes, sir.
Precisely for publicity.
Yes. And
okay.
Yes.
The remaining half.
The remaining half, I'll be investing it in the foreign stock market and the Nigerian stock market, like treasury bills, bonds, and the rest.
Thank you. Next person.
Okay, if I'm being given a million naira as a 2D illustrator and a 3D animator, there are some gadgets and a good system and gadgets that will help me to run that business better. But I'm seeing that the million naira will not do because I have two businesses. One is my 3D animation and the other is into the fashion industry.
So obviously for your 3D animation, the millionaire won't be enough. Obviously. Hmm? So this is where wisdom comes in. Thank you. We're going to pause a bit. Sorry. I'm going to break a bit, not stop literally. I'm going to divert a bit to say something, then we'll continue. What am I going to say? Now, I want you guys to know that this meeting is beyond these four walls of the classroom. And I want to address precisely young ministers. There is something that has been happening online lately between a young music minister and a minister of the gospel. I want to say this, that if you're a young minister, this is an admonition, admonition. You can choose to listen, you can choose not to listen. I would like to advise that if you're a young minister, if you've not done ministry 10 years, you're still a young minister. First thing first. If you've not done ministry consistently for 10 years, you're still a young minister. First thing first. No matter how old you are, if you've not done ministry for 10 consistent years, you're still a young minister. So if you fall under this category, I beg you in the name of God and all that is holy, go and get a mentor and a spiritual father. When I talk about spiritual father, it's not you being in Gwagwalada and calling Pastor Chris your spiritual father. He does not know he is fathering you. That's not fatherhood. The spiritual father you have has to know that he is fathering you, and you have to know that he is your father. And if your words or his words does not hold water to you, there is no need him fathering you. Number one, go and get a spiritual father or get a mentor. Go and submit yourself under the tutelage of someone that will guide you. Whatsoever level you think you're enjoying now, those men have enjoyed it many, many years ago before you now. So when we're talking about fatherhood, don't stay in a particular place and be calling Pastor Chris your spiritual father, or be calling Bishop Oyedepo your father, or Dr. Paul Enenche your father. Meanwhile, those guys don't know they are fathering you. There are reasons why you need to have a spiritual father. Number one is for covering. Number two is for mentorship. Number three is for guidance. So how can somebody that is 10 steps ahead of you guide you when the person doesn't even know he's fathering you? Guidance is needed in this thing we are doing. You need to be guided. So how do you choose a spiritual father? If God has not outrightly spoken to you that Benedict Agima is your spiritual father, or Pastor Chris is your spiritual father, or Dr. Paul Enenche is your spiritual father, if God has not expressly spoken to you, how do you choose? Number one criteria for choosing a spiritual father is access. Do you have access to this person? Can you see this person at will? Can you call this person? Can this person give you counsel? There is what we call direct mentorship and indirect mentorship. Direct mentorship is when you have direct access to this person. Indirect mentorship is when you are mentored by the materials of this person, either a tape or a book. You keep listening to the person every service, or you read the materials of the person. It's called indirect mentorship. That is not what necessarily a father is supposed to do. That is for mentors. A father is supposed to have you are supposed to have direct access to a father, because there are certain decisions that you need to take in life that you need to seek counsel before you take the decisions. And you have chosen, or you have claimed that a man that is your father, you don't have access to the person. A lot of excesses exhibited by young ministers can be prevented and avoided if they had a covering, or if they were under a tutelage of someone. And if by any reason whatsoever you have a spiritual father and he gives an instruction, you don't heed the instruction, he is not your father. Let me go further to say this. There is a common habit I found with young ministers in generation. They are looking for mentorship or fatherhood from people that have established platforms. They are looking for fatherhood or mentorship from people that have established platforms so that they can be endorsed. However, let me now say this. How many of you know Apostle Selman? How many of you know Apostle Selman's spiritual father? So how come you are looking for a father that has a big platform so that you be endorsed? To the best of my knowledge, Apostle Arume Osai's spiritual father, Apostle Arume Osai, has more influence globally than his own spiritual father. So how come you are looking for a big person? So this is my admonition to all young ministers, wherever you find yourself in the world. Anointing is very, very paramount and good for ministry, but much more bigger, better than anointing is what we call character. Are you here? That being said, we continue. How many of you can see the picture on the wall? That picture on the wall depicts something very, very profound. The picture on the wall depicts a rich kid and a poor kid. The rich kid, they are on a track race. They are about to run a race. So now you discover that the poor kid is a graduate. However, it is his responsibility to carry his parents, to carry certain burdens and responsibility in this race. Meanwhile, the rich kid is on the car, the bonnet of the car of his father. Who do you think will win in that race? Who do you think will win in that race? Obviously, the rich kid will win. I said, I'm showing you this to say that there are certain advantages certain people have in life. You don't have those advantages. It is only wisdom that you are aware of the challenges and the limitations you have and work towards them. It's that poor kid will be foolish behaving the way the rich kid is behaving. I've heard people that have gone ahead say that there is no shortcut in life. I beg to differ. To a certain level, that statement is not entirely true. Reason being that there are certain things that can shorten your journey. There are certain advantages that when you have them, it will shorten your journey. Number one of that advantage is what we call inheritance. From this picture, that rich kid has an inheritance. He has an advantage. And the advantage is his parents. And his parents have worked so hard that something has been kept for him called an inheritance. I had a trainee one time. The trainee came to learn the craft which I had. Me being his teacher and his mentor didn't have a camera. Yet the trainee at the time came with a 1.2 million naira camera. How did he get it? The father bought it for him. So inheritance is a certain advantage. Having well-to-do parents is a certain advantage. Are you with me? Some persons are saving to buy their first car. Meanwhile, some other person's first car were given to them as gifts. The person that saved to buy his first car and the person that was given the first car, both of them will not maintain the cars at the same level. Number two, shortcut, or number two advantage that if you have will shorten your process is what we call endorsement. It could happen that you are not from a wealthy background. It could happen that your parents are not all that wealthy. There is no inheritance. But there's something endorsement does for you in a particular field. The secular guys understand it, especially the music guys understand it. If you notice, if a new coming artist or if an upcoming artist needs to be launched into the public, there is something they do called a feature. He will be featured by an old artist that has more influence than him, the new upcoming artist. So that future now boosts this upcoming artist certain exposure to certain places. So by the virtue of that endorsement by the older artist, the more established artist, it now gives this new artist or the young artist or the upcoming artist his breakthrough. So there are certain people that if they endorse you in life, it shortens your process. You will be building on the legacy which that person has built. Number three is service through what we call apprenticeship. One of the faults I find with the educational system is that after going through school, it takes an average graduate a minimum of 18 to 17 years to become a graduate, to attain that certificate. You have to go to school 17 years. Now, this includes your primary, your secondary, and your tertiary. Cumulatively, it takes you 18 to 17 years to get that certificate called a graduate. Now, after you're done with school, they only give you a certificate to go and start life. But the person that served his boss, the person that went through this program called apprenticeship, after serving for 10 years of whatever number of years, 10 years, 7 years, he is being given a capital to go and start up life with a craft that he has learned through his boss. True or false? So if you keep the graduate and the apprentice that have gone through the system, who do you think has an advantage? Why? Your educational system gave you a certificate. This guy that went through this service and apprenticeship was given knowledge and capital to go and start. Meanwhile, you were given only a certificate. So you're wondering. There's a statement I saw online that nothing the sweet illiterate reach when graduate no get work. And I've said this before, I'll say it again. The graduate that come out of the educational system looking for a job, it is not necessarily their fault. Why? The system was designed to make you an employee, not an employer. So you are, after the number of years you went through, the 18 years, 17 years, you are doing what you're expected to do. Look for a job. But unfortunately, we have a problem in our country. There are no jobs. These three advantages that I've mentioned now, if you have them, your process, what you're supposed to go through in life, it will be shortened. You can't compare Apostle Joshua Selman with David Oyedepo Jr. You can't compare them. One has a certain level of advantage. One doesn't, or one didn't, when they were starting out. Are you here? You can't compare Wizkid and Davido. One had a certain level of advantage. One didn't. Are we together? Are we together? I saw this post by our topic of conversation this morning. The first session is monetizing your ideas. We ended last week by saying that all businesses starts with an idea. True or false? True or false? Monetizing your ideas. This concept simply means your ability to turn your business ideas into ventures that generate revenue and make profit. This concept simply means your ability to turn your business ideas into ventures that generate revenues and make profit. After developing an idea, you will need to create a business around it to benefit you. Primarily, you need an idea. True or false? But that idea will not necessarily make you money until you create a business around that idea. How many of you can wash? How many of you can wash? Everybody can wash. But you see everybody making money washing. But there's somebody that has started a business called laundry. How many of you can sing? Most people can sing. But how many people that can sing are actually wealthy? Not everybody. Some of you sing in your toilet and your bathroom when you're bathing. It doesn't exist there. At best, you're in your choir in church. Why? It's because you've not created a business. You have not created a system around that talent, around that idea that can generate resources for you. Are you here? Are you here? So what we are taking our time to discuss today is your ability to take an idea and turn it into a revenue generating venture. And most times you're going to do that through something we call a business. Like we rightly said last week, all you need is an idea. But you need to develop that idea in a way that it generates enough resources for you. We said something last week. We said that there's something called the living cost for everybody. For you to be alive, it costs you money to be alive. Life is free, but living is expensive. You have to buy food. You have to buy clothes. You have to move from one place to another. All these things cost money. True or false? So therefore, for you to live, you need to have an income. You need to earn something. If you're not earning, if you're not earning and you are alive, somebody is shouldering that responsibility for you to be alive. Somebody is making sure that you are comfortable. So that idea that you have, you need to create a system around it that will turn it into a revenue generating idea. We said every business started with an idea. Are you here? Are you here? Every profession that you know of today, there is the business aspect of that profession. There's the medical profession. There's the medical professionals. But believe you me, the people that are wealthy or making it big from those professions are the people that are doing the business aspect or are on the business side of that profession. I'll give an instance. The medical doctor is a medical practitioner, right? But there are certain things the medical doctor needs to use to administer treatment to you. He needs a syringe. He needs a glove. He needs plasters. He needs drips. Believe you me, the guy that supply those syringes, those masks, those gloves is wealthier than the medical doctor. Why? The guy that is doing that supply is in the business aspect of that profession. The nurse, the doctor, they are just medical practitioners. They are practicing. And in Nigeria, one of the problems we have in our country is copying. Are you here? When somebody have discovered that an idea is working or an idea is paying, everybody start copying. There was a time everybody wanted to be a musician. If today. Why? Because they've realized that it's paying. Right now, parents are forcing their children, you must play football. Whether the guy can play or not. Why? It's paying. If you walk around your street, there is no street that you enter in Nigeria today that you not find a minimum of 10 POS points. Somebody discovered this. Somebody had the idea, turned into a business. So instead of us to build on that idea and become better, we are busy copying. Everybody wants to do content. Everybody wants to become a content creator. But do you know one thing I've come to realize? Everybody will not make money from a particular field or industry. Everybody. There is somebody supplying the gowns. Those they are robes. There's somebody doing it. Those they are wigs. There's somebody selling it. So who do you think is making more money? Back to the medical people. They wear lab coats. Who do you think is making the lab coats? Are you here? So every field you are, every craft that you've taken, there is the business aspect. Your main aim is to master that business aspect. That's how you can make money from it. Your main aim. The OP you have today, there are guys that broke out from traditional banks. They took the limitations the traditional banks had and they created an industry for themselves called fintech. Merging banking and technology together. Now, you also have to know that OPay, MoneyPoint, PalmPay, they were existing before 2023 general election. Before cashless policy came. Cashless policy was only a situation where they took advantage to break even. Why? Traditional banks refuse to evolve. Traditional banks refuse to evolve. You can open an OP account without going into any branch. Meanwhile, traditional banks are frustrating you. You must come into a branch to open an account. Are you with me? Are you with me? The traditional bank had to force these guys. Had to force them. They had to keep up. The chances of your transaction failing in a fintech, in one of these fintech platforms, the chances of your transaction are failing is 0.1%. But the chances of your transaction failing, why? A set of persons saw the lapses or the challenge the particular industry had, and they created an industry for themselves. So I'm saying all this, that you need to have the ability to sit down and think. After you've come up with the idea, you need to create a system around you, so that it will enable you to generate resources and revenue. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? I said last month rather, that it's either you go start a business or go learn a skill. When you go and learn a skill, the person, your master or whosoever is teaching you, only teaches you the skill. He doesn't teach you the business aspect of that skill. He only teaches you the skill. That's what you paid for. I'm in the media space. In the media space, there are so many opportunities in the media space. There's what we call events. In event alone, there are a lot of opportunities in event. One event, for you to make one event successful, you need a planner. You need a decorator. You need a DJ. You need a photographer. You need a cinematographer. You will need to wear clothes on that event. You need ushers to serve people in that. This is just one opportunity, one event. Have you seen the business opportunities that one opportunity has? One field or one industry has? Are you seeing? So you now went to go and learn photography, or you want to go and learn videography. The skill is minimal. It's the least thing to learn. It's very good for you to be skilled. Have you noticed that there are photographers that are better than others? Yet the ones that are better don't make as much money as the ones that are not good. Why? That one has understand the business aspect of that craft he has learned. Same with sewing. How come Vodi? How many of you know Vodi? How many of you know Yomi Kajua? To get those guys to put a dress together for you, it's cost serious money. Abi? So how come this Pakpakpa is by the road? Obioma. They call them Obioma. It's the same skill. Is it not the same? Is it not to join fabric together? Is it not just to join fabric together? I can bet you that man called Mr. Vodi, I can bet you he has not sat on a sewing machine for the past 10 years or 5 years. If for any reason whatsoever he has to be in a machine, he has to be a special demand. He doesn't. Why? He has mastered the business aspect of that craft, of that skill. So when you go and learn a skill, don't be the one that goes to go and learn a skill to become Oga immediately. No. At best, in 6 months or 1 year, you can master any craft. Any craft, you can master in 1 year, 6 months. In 1 year or 6 months, you can master. But that business one, when you have gotten this is wisdom I'm giving you. When you've gone to go and learn the skill or the craft, don't leave immediately. Your boss or the person teaching you might not likely teach you the business aspect. That one is not taught, is caught. As I'm talking to you, I learned photography. My entry point or my entrance into the media space is photography. But having gotten into that industry, I came to realize I had the person that taught me, my boss, that taught me the photography skill. He is there. I was mentored by another person that taught me the business aspect of photography. He is also there. Then I am now with somebody now that is teaching me the media industry, the media business. And he has one single policy that he has taught me so far. Last year or 2 years ago, any offer that you can make 20,000 naira profit, take it. Any offer that comes to your table. I'm talking in respect of this particular industry now, media. Any offer you have, somebody calls you and gives you a particular offer, that after your logistics and everything, you have 20,000 as profit, he said you should take it. Now we've increased it because we've grown. Now any offer you bring to him that has a profit of 50K, he takes it. Why? This is the policy. Are you learning? There is something we call cash flow. Abi? Take for instance, you make dresses. The standard which you make a dress is 20K or 30K. Abi? But The person coming to you now doesn't have 20 or 30K. He now say, let's do it for 15K. Hope you know. Let's do it for 15K. You take the 15K. It has brought cash flow. You take another one, it has brought cash flow. Until that one that comes big, that you make 30, 40K at once. This is the logic is teaching. So the cash flow keeps you going because of something called running cost. Because of something called running cost. You have to buy fuel. If you have staff, you have to fix staff. So if you don't do business, those guys will not stay. Those bills needs to be paid. So these jobs that come and miss the certain benchmark that you have for cash flow keeps you going until what me and him call Bojom comes, until the big job comes. It is not every month you do a deal for $1 million or 2. It's not every month. So what do you do? And if $1 million came last month and it doesn't come again till 2 months time, how will you survive? Hope you know the $1 million will finish. So how will you survive? So for us to keep and save that $1 million effectively, we have to do what we call cash flow. So any job that comes and meet this particular standard and making a particular profit, 50K, we take it. This thing now, I learned it from the third mentor in business that is learning, that is in the media industry, not only photography, media. Are you learning? Are you learning? So contextually now, you have to know how to apply it in the industry which you are. We are not all in the same industry. I am here to harness your skill and teach the business aspect of that thing. So you've known, you have mastered the skill. Not know you yet. Not know you yet. But you call the one that is close to him. That's why we call circle and network. If he's a videographer, he is limited. You cannot be in more than one place at the same time. So what do? You call your next person on your contact. But you are seeing every other person, every other cinematographer, every other photographer, every other tailor, or every other fashion as a competitor. No. 1,000 times no. How to monetize your ideas. So get into the company or get into the network of people that do what you do. Your best marketer, the best marketer you have is your fellow vendor. I've said this before. The best marketer that you have is the person that is doing your business, your kind of business. Are you here? Akon. How many of you know Akon? He said he had a problem one time. What was the problem? He had 2 bookings at the same time, different locations. And I told you, one of the limitations we have as men is you cannot be in more than one place at the same time. So he was looking for the best person he will send to cover up for him in the other location, like him. So before now, if the guy, there's something they went there to act as though I'm the one. So Akon had his brother that was doing that thing for him. There are certain went there to act as though I'm the one. So Akon had his brother that was doing that thing for him. There are certain shows usually do some for him. When he goes there, he had to learn his own songs. Does man. So there is music. There is the business aspect of music. The artist you are seeing, that you are shouting, and this person get money, this person get money. Have you asked of the people paying them? The soccer, the football stars you are seeing, Ronaldo is wealthy, Messi is wealthy. Have you asked the people paying them? Have you thought about it? Do you know what it means for a club to give you a blank check, write any figure they will give you? It's an offer they give Messi one time. When you understand this concept, you will know how powerful Don Jazzy is. If you understand what I just taught, you will know how powerful Don Jazzy is. He is controlling a generation. You cannot call 10 hot artists now, 10 artists right now that they are hot, that 3 or 4 are not from Maven. So the guy is controlling a generation. He is very powerful as a music mogul. So artists or upcoming artists, all they focus on is the craft. You can sing, very true. But there are people that sing better than Two-Face that have not gotten close to what he has achieved. There are, they insult this guy, what's his name? Davido, that he has frog voice. There are people that have better voice than he does, yet they have not gotten to half of what. The contract you signed as a poor man. When you now expose, you are now go back to the contract, you will see your foolishness that you signed. So, as you are developing your skill, as you are developing your music skill, one of the things you should pay attention to is the music aspect. Is the business aspect. As wealthy or as lucrative as the sport industry is, the sport industry does not have up to 10 billionaires. As magnified as Ronaldo has been magnified, maybe his total net worth is 1.3 billion. After how many years of working? The guy called Michael Jordan. How many of you know him? He's one of the greatest basketballers of all time. He only made $90 million in his entire playing career. He's the richest. He's one of the richest athletes. His playing days, the skill, the actually playing, he made only $90 million in his entire playing days. So how come? How did he make the billions? How did he become a billionaire? Number one, he had a deal with Nike that gave him a certain percentage of the particular brand they had. So at the end of every year, Nike gives him almost close to 100 million at the end of every year. But remember, his entire career, playing career, how much did he make? 90 million. His entire playing span, he made 90 million. But when he signed that deal with Nike, at the end of every year, the revenue and the royalties they give him is almost close to 100 million. Then the one that broke the camel's back was when he bought a basketball team. He bought that basketball team for $200 million. As I'm talking to you right now, that basketball team is worth $2 billion US. So is it actually the basketball that gave, playing the basketball? I mean, it's not. He created a brand. And when he created the brand, he leveraged on that brand and created a system around it. So I'm saying all this to say that whosoever told you education is scam, you will now realize that education is not a scam until you sign rubbish because you cannot read and write, or you don't understand the diction of whatever thing it is that you are signing. Education is not a scam. The problem is you fail to utilize the foundation that you were given. That's just the problem. Do you know how disadvantaged you will be if you cannot read and write? Do you know? Imagine the people that can read and write are being cheated because they don't understand legal terms. Because they don't understand legal terms. So now imagine the person that cannot actually read and write. Do you know how much he will be cheated? Chris Brown said when he turned 27, he realized a mistake and he corrected it. He started owning his masters. Why am I calling these guys? I like business. I pay attention to business. This now explains the reason why somebody is very, very rich at his prime. When the career goes down, or when he stops playing, or when he stops singing, he starts going down. He becomes poor, or he becomes broke. The reason is simple. He didn't know the business aspect of that industry he found himself. Are you here? Are you here? The farther away you are from a machine or from the field, the more money you make. Write it down. The farther away you are from the machine or from the field, the more money you make. How many of you know the owners of Manchester United? But how many of you know the players that are playing? You know them because those ones are the ones that are popular. You don't know the owners. The farther away you are from the field, or the farther away you are from the machine, the more money you make. One of the things that rattles my theology or rattles my mindset is when I see an elderly man carrying a camera. In 10 years from now, I will not be carrying camera. It's not the end. It's a means to an end. Another thing that I'm seeing, an elderly person that's an art, you are still jumping, trying to entertain people at 60. No, there's something wrong. You're not supposed to be doing it at that time. You could do it when you're teenage, in your prime, your 30s, as a youth. You could do it. It's okay. But jumping up and down, no, 1,000 times no. You should evolve from that particular field or from operating the machine to either being the owner of the machine or controlling the system that the machine is operated. It is you that will sit down and create a system around that idea that will generate money for you. It is not every content creator that is making money. Is there money in content space? Yes, there is money. Now everybody wants to make content. Everybody's buying ring light and the rest. But not everybody will thrive in that industry. You have to choose the one that is yours and utilize it. Stay there. One of the litmus test, or one of the test you will go through in any industry is the test of time. One of the tests you go through in any industry is the test of time. So long as the Nigerian music industry is concerned right now, there is a legend or there is a king. His name is called Two-Face. Forget whatever is happening to him in his private life. But he's one of the person that has run that music career for 30 years. The best prime for any artist, the best average that any artist trends or in his prime is 5 years. Baba is pushing 30 years in the industry. Next to him are them D'banj that are doing 30 years. Then Timaya is close to 20 years. But you can't compare them at the same level. Wizkid and David just started now. They've not done 15 years. One of the tests you have is the test of time. You have to stay in that niche until the industry recognizes you. There are people that don't do publicity, yet they don't rest. They keep getting offers, they keep getting demands, they still getting requests. Every day they must work, they must sell. Your industry has not recognized you if strangers don't call you for you. Your industry has not recognized you yet if strangers haven't started calling you for supplies or to supply them or serve them. Are you here? You will know that an industry has recognized you when strangers start calling you, when strange numbers start calling you. Where you get my number? Oh, so person referred you. So person referred you. And now let me say this. If you render services or you do businesses, 80% of the time your name will be mentioned in corridors before you actually get there. If you're a business person, you render services or you actually sell a product, your name will be mentioned in places when you are referred before you will actually get there. This is when now character now comes into play. Just being good at a thing is not enough. What if your name is mentioned and the people say no? There's a queen called Queen Vashti in the Bible, in the book of Esther. She disrespected the king, and the noblemen and the councilmen were discussing, King, you have to treat this Vashti's matter. If you don't handle this matter, our wives will learn this habit and they will start disrespecting us. Do you know what blew my mind in that scripture? When that matter was deliberating, or when that matter was being deliberated, nobody could stand and defend Vashti in that circle, in that caucus, in that meeting. It's a problem. It's a problem. So it made me raise a prayer point, or God taught me a prayer point from that scripture. Wherever my name is mentioned for evil, Father, raise men to defend me. Why? If you render services or you're a business person, most likely your jobs will come by referral. So what happens when you are being referred is your character has a lot to play, a role to play, a major role to play. There is a way to talk to clients. Even if the client gets you angry, even if the client offends you, there is a way to talk to him. There is a way to address a troublesome client. There is a way to address a client that finds faults in everything you do. There is a way. The reason why you are being cautious with that client is not necessarily because of the client, but is because of the client's circle, where your name will be mentioned and that client that had a negative experience with you is mentioned. If a client is there, obviously you will not be giving it to you. You know that. If a client has an ugly experience with you, and remember, it's not everybody that gives people second chances. It's not everybody that gives people second chances. So the reason why you are being cautious, you are being careful with that client that is troublesome, is not necessarily because of him. It's because of his circle. You don't know where that client will stay, will be when you are being discussed. Are you learning something? So how, after you've created the idea, after you've gone to go and learn the skill, the next thing you have to do is identify a market. Identify a market. The mother and bedrock of any business idea is a market. No matter how good your product is, if there is no market for people to buy, it will not thrive. You've learned the skill. Abi? As a person or as a media person, I don't advertise to people in my territory in Gwagwalada. I'm expensive. I can tell you for free, 90% of the people in Gwagwalada will not pay you 60,000 naira for 1 hour shoot. I can tell you for free. So there is no point wasting my energy and resources to be here. The people live streaming for us now, they are here based on relationship. If I were to pay for this service, it's nothing less than 200K. If we were to pay, we're actually supporting or showing appreciation with a certain amount. But if we were to give them that particular fee, that their fee, required fee for them to be here, it's nothing less than 200K. I don't know a live streamer in Gwagwalada. I don't know. Why? Because nobody here will give you that fee for live streaming. So I don't even tell you what I do. The best you know me that I do in Gwagwalada, I'm a pastor. Glory to God. So you have to identify a market. After you've created the idea, you have to identify a market. Is this thing sellable or scalable in this place that I am? Sheivodi cannot prosper in Gwagwalada. Vodi. Nobody will give him 100K for a dressing wax. Are you here? If there are, it's just 5% of the population. Are you with me? You have to identify the market. No matter how good No matter how good your idea is, you have to identify a market. Next is, any business that is easy to start, run away from it. It will be crowded. That's why POS is everywhere. Any business that somebody can start with 100K, that somebody can start with a 50K. Yes, now this is the balance. You can start from there, but don't stay there. Why? Because that your field is crowded. Let me now also say this. It is not what you start with that you might necessarily end up with. How many of you know Nokia phones? Do you know the first product Nokia made? No. Their first product were tissue papers. So you're trying to relate how a tissue paper producing company now migrated into tech, Abi? That is what we call innovation. Your ability to think. Your ability to think. So chances are your first hustle, your first business idea might not be the one we give you that big break, but it's the starting point for you to cover something called living cost, survivor, which we discussed last month. That's why I'm telling you that it's an error if I'm still holding a camera in the next 10 years. It's not the end, it's the starting point. So number one, you have to identify a market. Number two, avoid any business that is easy to start. Any business that is easy to start is difficult to scale. Why? It will be crowded. The industry will be crowded. Anybody that has multiple branches in this POS thing were the pioneers of the business. Go and check. Anybody that has more than 1, 2, 3 POS spots, go and check. They started it when it wasn't crowded yet. Are you here? So starting a business. Sorry, before we go there, how to spot a market. How do you know that this product I have, this idea I have, there's a market for it? Number one is demand and supply. There's this person, this business consultant I listened to. He said a few years back, he traveled outside Nigeria and discovered that besides fuel, there's what we call CNG. For those of us that watch American movies, there are certain languages they use when they are going to go and get fuel. I want to get gas, or I want to get gasoline. Before CNG came, I was wondering, what's gas? What's gasoline? Is it this cooking gas, or what kind of gas that cars are using? Until CNG came, and I realized, oh, there's a special kind of gas that cars can use. Then I could relate with those movies. So when the person traveled out and discovered that there is gas, but when he came back and did a visibility study for the Nigerian market, he realized that fuel was actually cheaper than the gas. So if he had brought that CNG that time, there will be no market for it. Well, just last year, 2 years ago, when our new president came and did what he did, the fuel skyrocketed. He now discovered that gas became now cheaper. Then he went back to that idea. There is now demand for something that is cheaper than fuel. To discover that everybody's looking for how to convert their cars to CNGs. Everybody's looking for gas stations. Now, one of the problems the CNG cars have now is we don't have a lot of gas stations. I don't believe there is any in Gwagwalada. They are building. They are building inside. Do you understand? So it's a market. If you have the money, it's a good place to invest. Leave petrol. It's a good place to invest. People are looking for alternative power. Are you here? So how do you spot a market? Demand and supply. Look around you. The environment you find yourself. water sells more in this territory than any other thing. Why? Gwagwalada is hot. So if you are relocating to Maiduguri and you are planning to go and do anything that has to do with heat, it might not sell. But if you do anything that has to do with cold drinks, cold room, cold this, cold that, it will sell. Why? Those places are unusually hot. Are you here? Hope you also know that the people that make AC for you don't use the ACs. The people that produce AC don't necessarily use the AC the way Africans use the AC. So they spotted a market in Africa. The people that make generators don't use generators in their country. They have to spot the market. Africans, precisely Nigerians, are highest numbers of the users of iPhones. Nigerians are the highest consumers of champagne. So the people created in the country, but they know they cannot sell it there. We like luxury. Recently, Nigerians were banned from going to Dubai, Abi. They now realize that their malls became dry. All those their tourist sites became dry. Nigerians are the one funding those places. So they had to change the law. Because they realize, in as much as these guys are many here, they are contributing to our economy. Dubai is like a destination location for vacation. If anybody wants to go vacation, it's Dubai. Anybody wants to go to vacation, it's Dubai. In Nigeria. So their tourist visas were selling more. And they decided, they thought we were becoming nuisance and they banned us. They realized that it affected their economy. So they had to change the ban. So why? They created something called tourism. Hope you, oh God in heaven, identify the market that is for you and stay there. So in the next couple of minutes, before we break, we're supposed to break in the next 10 minutes or so. What are the basic business ideas that one can use to create a system or a business? The basic business ideas. Now, there are 5 basic needs of man. If we can create a business around those needs, you will always be in business. Number 1 is feeding. Number 1 is feeding. There is no technology right now that you become so spiritual that you know it. There's no technology. If you do 100 days fast, you must break. You must break. If you do 3 days fast, you must break. Invariably, everybody must eat. So you have to create a business around this. Either you go into agriculture. Now, when I say create a business, I'm not saying to go and start a restaurant. Which is one, you can start from there. But much more, you can go into agriculture. And when I say go into agriculture, I don't necessarily mean that it is you that have to go and farm. But that's why you are here. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is you that have to go and farm. Go into agriculture. Choose a particular crop or a particular thing to do. It could be livestock. It could be cash crops. Whatever thing. But your aim is to produce at large scale. Why do you think these globalists are trying to control food in the world? Why do you think they're trying to control food in the world? Jeff Bezos is buying every free land he can get in the US. Bill Gates is buying every free land he can get in the world. Why? Food. There is no system, there is no technology, there is no science that makes man to live without food. Therefore, everybody will eat. Have you noticed, for those of you that live in this Angwan, have you noticed, those people that sell food to those people, they have a market. Those Hausa guys, that their rice is white, they just add one or two things. You just eat. They have a market. Their market is for those people. Chicken Republic has his market. He has for a particular kind of people. If you go to town, there are, oh, Jesus Christ is Lord. Oh, Jesus. There's a level of resources you will have. You will know that eating in Chicken Republic is for the masses. Have you eaten a plate of food for 40,000 naira? Do you understand? There is a market for every place you want to be. Are you here? Mommy, they run restaurants. She don't run restaurants. She doesn't run a restaurant. His mom cooks, but she doesn't run a restaurant. What does she do? She cooks for events. Strictly. Oh God in heaven. If your mind open to this thing, she cooks for events strictly. She doesn't run a restaurant. Hope you know, even in burials in Nigeria, people eat. Burial, people eat. They kick out. Burial, they are supposed to be money. But when they are crying, they are eating. Oh God, they are still eating. The industry is that powerful. People must eat. Are you here? Let's not waste time. So like I said, now let me now say this. The number one survival skill any lady is supposed to have at first is cooking. Number one survival skill. Now, if you notice, my wife is not here. It's because she's going through a training. It started yesterday. But I know that as a good husband, if you go out on a long day, she's supposed to at least come back home and meet. And meet what? And meet food. As a good husband. But I cannot cook. So what did I do? I went out. I went to go and buy it. Oh, wisdom is from people. Direct. I went to go and buy it. I know that after a long day, she likes swallow. She's like me. So we swallow a lot. So I bought the soup. Came, poured it in the pot, and made a bar. Hey, babe, you cooked? I said, don't ask how the food came. Just eat. So I'm saying that to say that there are career people, are busy people that they don't necessarily cook. So they request for people that can cook pots of soups for them. It could be 5 liter, it could be 10 liter. So you now can choose that my own business now is to cook soups for people. I might not necessarily run a restaurant. So it's based on demand and orders. You can order. I have 10 corporate women. I have 10 corporate ladies that are career people. I know that a week, 2 or 3 must call me. It's every day. They must eat. No matter how large the soup is, it will finish. It cannot. As a matter of fact, some certain people like their meals fresh. So you can choose that as a need. So the survival skill for every lady, if you are looking for a business skill you don't have, go and learn how to cook first. Start there. And the survival skill for every guy, if you are starting a life, go and know how to drive. It's the fastest job you can get. It's either you start a taxi or you get a job as a driver. Is starting point. I'm not saying you should end there. It's starting point. There are more opportunities for persons leaving the house every day than the person that wakes up and stays in the house. Are you here? Can we proceed? We're going to take 2 more. Then we're going to take our break. Number 2 is clothing. Feeding, clothing. People must wear clothes. It might not be all at the same level. You might not wear Gucci, but you wear okay. You might not wear Prada, but you wear Ben Select, according to your level. But invariably, people must wear dress. So those people making dress for people. Now the problem I have with them is I don't know whether it's the same person that train all of them. All these tellers. I don't know if it's the same person that teach them work. That they have a degree in disappointing people. I don't know whether it's that one they teach them first before they actually teach them the skill. They like collecting too much. And they cannot meet up. Now, if you want to go into this particular industry now, the first selling point you will have over everybody is you deliver as at when you say you will deliver. It's the same. I'm a skilled person. Everybody working with me, I want the person. Now, first of all, I am known as a pastor. Most of my clients know that I'm a pastor. So I cannot be telling client that the cloth will be ready today, or your photo book will be ready today, and it's not ready that day. You are giving me a bad name. So if I'm working with you, if you tell me that this thing will be ready, let's say for instance, I got a job, and I have to work with more than 2 persons. So I have to warn you, the person working with me. You have to give me a day and make sure that you are making that thing will be delivered on that day. I don't tell my client the day you tell me. Wisdom is profitable to direct. If you tell me that this thing will be ready on a Monday, I tell my client Friday. So that whatever thing I have to go through between you and you, we have to solve it Wednesday, Thursday. And I'm delivering on the day I tell the client. You have to be deliberate. If you take pictures or if you cover an event, how many days does it take for your images to be ready? It shouldn't exceed those days. Somebody has done wedding, somebody has called you to cover the wedding. 2 months later, the person never sees picture. Oh, wrong now. The person has given you a dress. The person told you the day was given, I want to use this dress on so day for a particular occasion. Let me tell you something peculiar about what we do, especially the people that are in events. Once a moment has passed, you can't get it back. I'm talking to the fashion designers now. Once a moment has passed, you can't get it back. So if a client brings a dress to you to make for a particular event, you should know that there is a sentimental attachment to that dress. Why? Because it's for a particular event. Once that event has passed, that dress is practically useless. It's what you call ashobi. The ladies most likely may not use the dresses again. And you now mess it up. No matter how good you are, it's a matter of time. The person will replace you. He will change you. There are certain people that leave or choose certain people to do business with just because of their peace of mind. They know you know really they're that good though, but they don't follow you argue. They know they look for you up and down when they give you job. They know you are not that good. But for just over the fact that you give them, they give you job and they are at peace, it's okay for them. But you are good. But so long as the job has gotten into your hand, oh God, the person have to go to the hospital every day to check BP. Fashion. The next one is health. As I'm talking the basic need, this basic need I'm mentioning, there's a business idea or there's a business opportunity. That's what I'm mentioning. The next one is what? Is health. The health industry is a lucrative industry. The people making Panadol, I believe they only make Panadol. I'm not sure, don't quote me. But they only make Panadol. Or they don't. Emzo, they don't only make Panadol. They make other drugs. But imagine just on paracetamol alone. The painkiller. Hope you know paracetamol is a painkiller. So Emzo is a company that produces paracetamol. Are you here? So imagine that company. Why? People must forsake you. There is the revelation for divine healing. There's revelation for divine health. But not everybody has understood and caught the revelation yet. So the ones that are falling sick, we keep making money off them yet. And remember, medicine is expensive. You think, oh God, if God has given you the health, enjoy it, thank God. For the few number of times I visited the hospital, I don't come out smiling. Why? Because I always find something that, imagine you living on a drug that costs 45k and you have to buy the drug every week. I have a friend that treats BP. His BP drugs is 15k. He buys it almost every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. That's serious money. Health, the pharmaceutical industry, medicine. Now remember, I said it earlier, not the medical practitioners, the ones that are in the business. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Then the next one is shelter. The problem with this one is it's expensive. It's difficult to start. However, if you can, it's good. Why? Anybody you see sleeping under the bridge or outside, the person doesn't have a choice. Everybody needs shelter over their head. Everybody needs shelter over their head. Another thing is, since everyone needs shelter over their head, no matter how difficult or hard the economy is, people must build. So the guys in the building material are making money. So long as we have people building, you must buy cement. You must buy cement. The next one is education. Hope you know this is a school. Hope you know this is a training session. Hope you know. This is a training session. So it's either you create a product that has to do with the formal education, or you create a product that has to do with the informal educational system. Ignorance is very, very costly. I said it here. If you think education is a scam, wait until you go and sign a deal, or you sign away your life, or you go and sign your death warrant, just because you cannot read and write. Education is in high demand, especially in our nation where the health sector and the education sector has been neglected by the government. That's why the private sector in these industries are making money. Private schools are expensive. Private hospitals are expensive. The reason why they're expensive is because these services are expensive. The place of government, or the role of government in this thing, is to subsidize them. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Let me now say this. Wherever you find, anywhere you go and you find people, there must be commerce. Anywhere you go and you find people, there must be commerce. There must be buying and selling. One man cannot have everything. You must have something somebody else need, and that other person have something you need. They must be buying and selling, so long as people exist there. Are we together? Are we together? At this moment, we're going to break. We're going to take a break now. We're going to take our breakfast, and we're going to come back. Our breakfast is just for 30 minutes. Thank you. Okay, just stay where you are. Your breakfast will be brought to you. Or keep it there, let them come and pick it. It will be easier. to another, which is transportation. Man must move from one place to another. Now, all these ideas I'm mentioning, I am not mentioning them so that you can be doing the mega things in this industry. No. It's so that you can be doing the mega things in the industry. So transportation, people must move from one place to another. You hear? So it's either you run a transport company or you have a fleet of cars. You might not necessarily be the one driving. Like I said, there is a certain limitations man have. You cannot be in more than one place at the same time. You cannot do more than one thing at the same time. So if you are the one driving just one car, you know it will be limiting. But if you have a fleet of car and have a system that manages them for you, you know enough revenue is going to be generated at the end of the day. Are we together? Are we together? Now, the assignment I gave 2 assignments last month. One was, what will you do with $1 million? The next one is, everybody should get another stream of income. The assignment I'm giving this month is, and I said something last month. I said, in school, you were monitored on the assignments or the things you were given to do, true or false. Here, you might not really be monitored. Reason being that we don't have an exams at the end of at the end of our session. Life is the exams. Life is the one that will test you. Life is the one that will examine you. So it's left for you to take these things we're giving you serious or not. Are you here? So after you've developed the business idea, we've thought about monetizing your business idea, create a system around it. One. Then we now said, your idea will only thrive in a place where there is demand. You have to identify the market for that idea. These basic ideas that I've mentioned, you can break even anywhere. Like I said, don't stay in the meager part of that business. When I say food, your aim should not be restaurant. Your aim should be supplying a particular product at large quantity. Turnover is the key. The more number you do, the more income you make. In business, or something we call turnover. I give you an instance. The airtime you recharge, how much profit do you think these people are making on the airtime? Either the OP that you are recharging, the banks you are recharging your phones through, or whatever platform you're using to recharge. How much profit do you think at the time when they were still selling the physical card? Their profit was no more than 10 naira. Are you here? But there's something called turnover. By the time you do 10 naira by 1 million persons, do the maths now. You see, you think bank is stupid. First bank charge you 5 naira for each transaction. Abi? Now they've said that all charges should come from your airtime, not from the banks, not from your account balance. It should come from the airtime. Now, imagine that you have 1 million subscribers. You have 1 million First Bank subscribers, or you have 1 million OP subscribers. OP charge, is it 10 naira per transaction? Anti-money point. When I call anti-money point, doesn't mean she runs a POS point. She works with money point. I'm like clarifying. Money point charges 10 naira per transaction, Abi. So imagine 10 naira per transaction times 1 million transactions a day. Do the math. Do it. We're in class. 10 naira. That's how much? Times 1 million transaction. That's 10 million in one day. But you see that it's just 10 naira. 10 naira is small. No, there's something called turnover. There's something called turnover. There's something called compound interest, which is the next thing we'll be getting to, which is terminologies in business. Terminologies in business. If you will thrive in business, you have to have financial literacy. If you will thrive in business, you have to have financial literacy. Financial literacy is just knowing the things you know about money, the things to know about money. Finance is money, Abi. Literacy is being literate, Abi. So a kind of education that has to do with money. So in business, there are certain things you have to know. This is all pushing further now. Basic terminologies in business. Number one is asset. What is an asset? An asset in a layman term is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. An asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out of your pocket. So now the question is a house an asset or is house a liability? It depends on what you are using the house for. If you are occupying the house, it's a liability. If you are occupying the house, it's a liability. Why? You will maintain the house. There will be maintenance. Why? It's taking money out of your pocket. You will pay light bill. You pay water bill. There are certain bills you have to pay to make the house run effectively or smoothly. But if you rent out the apartment, it now becomes what? It now becomes what? An asset. An asset. Now, also, that same house that you are living in, if God blesses you and you now build another one and you want to sell that one, hope you know the value will increase. So in that context, the house is also an asset. Same with a car. If you buy a car just to be using the work to go to work and come back, it's taking money from your pocket. It becomes a liability. A car needs to be maintained. A car needs to be serviced. A car needs to be fueled. And if you put that money collectively together in a month, that's huge. That's a huge amount of money. So the car becomes a liability. But if you now use that car for a transportation business that is generating revenue, it's now what we call an asset. Are you here? Let me now say this. Children are not assets. They are very expensive. Children are not assets. Now, somebody might argue, we say the person will now grow old and take care of me. You cannot guarantee that. Why? The child has a mind of his own. You can't guarantee the child has a mind of his own. Number two, you can't guarantee that because you can't guarantee the child will be successful. Hope you know we have 30, 35 years old men living in the parents' house. There is no business that you take care of for 35 years that will not take care of you. Two of us. It's not possible. So if you are thinking the children, when they grow, it's under probability. It's not certain. Why? Number one, they have a mind of their own. Number two, it's not guaranteed that the children. I know the Christian people now say, God forbid my child will succeed. Very, very true. Your child will succeed. But there are no guarantees anywhere. The ones that the children are failing, they didn't know the children will fail also. Or neither are the children planning to fail. But life happens. Are you here? There are certain situations you get to as an adult. You have to call home. Even as an adult. Alpha, mom say, Alpha. You don't collect your salary. Give me your 50K, they are going to give you back later. Two of us. You have to. Somebody said, if God is your father, my brother, call home. Oh. It's becoming serious. Call home. Because home always comes true. So yeah, number one, an asset. Number two, income. Income is the amount of money you get on a regular basis after a stipulated point in time. A gift, a financial gift is not an income. It's a gift. Reason being that you are not guaranteed that I will give you the gift next month. We took our time to address this last month. We said you need to earn. If you don't earn, you will beg. If you don't earn and if you beg, they don't give you, you will steal. Why? Man must survive. You cannot stay be seeing food and you are hungry. And you know that if they, at this moment you don't eat, you will eat it. If they are, now me carry up. Man must survive. So income is the amount of money you get on a regular basis. On a regular basis over a period of time. Or after a period of time. So when you get a job, you earn income. When you do business, you are earning income. Are you here? Are you here? Expenses or expenditures? Expenses or expenditures are the amount of money you spend to meet a need. So there's a beautiful lady called Blessing. Blessings earn 250,000 naira a month. But Blessing also have certain needs that needs to be met every month. Number one, she's a lady. Therefore, her monthly visitor will come at a certain point. She needs sanitary pads. She needs to move from one place to another. She needs to eat. She needs to look good. She needs to smell nice. Her phone needs data. Her phone needs airtime. All those things she's buying are what? Expenses. So now you are in a financial problem or a big trouble if your expenses are more than your income. You are in a big trouble or you're in a big problem if your expenses are more than your income. And guess what? The older you get, the more expenses you have. Why? As a young man or that man, brother, that man sitting there, he doesn't need to visit a barber after every week. I don't like the way I'm looking because I failed to meet my barber last night. I was very busy. And this morning I became very busy. So I needed to shave. You get my point? He doesn't know what it means to stay like this. He's itching. Do you understand? He doesn't. But a stage is coming. He'll be visiting his barber every week to look sharp and look neat. Same with his haircut. A stage is coming. It will be a taboo for you to carry your hair for 2 weeks. No. You will start slapping it. Pa. Okay. You start slapping it. I'm talking of the people. You start slapping it. A time is coming. Why? The older you get, your expenses grow. And the older you get, the more expensive your toys become. This is a toy. Hope you know. This is a toy. Some couple of years back, I wasn't thinking of this one. But there are certain things I want that we needed to get this particular one. A time is coming. There was a time you used, which is the worst wig or the worst attach. There was a time you used the hand thread. You used thread for your head, but now you can't do it. As you've grown your before, now 100 naira airtime was enough. It's no longer enough. You have to do 1,000. You have to do 500, or you have to do at the point is. At the point, a little data, 2 gig, 3 gig was enough. Now 10 gig can't last you a week. Why? Because you have grown. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Then there's what we call income statement. Income statement is the sheet or the piece of paper that shows your income and your expenses. So every business should have this record. That's the reason why we're teaching you this terminology. How many of you use okay, we'll get there. Income statement. It is a sheet or a document that carries both income and expenses. So at the end of every month, you now check your income and you now check your expenses. You now add up your expenses all together and get a certain amount. If that expenses is more than the income, if it's a business, you're running at a loss. If the income, let's assume your total income for the month is 200,000 naira. Abi? And your expenses for the month is 50,000 naira. 200,000 minus 50,000 naira. So what was your profit for the month? 150. So profit, now I'm defining two things at the same time. Profit is income minus what? Expenses is give you profit. So after today, one of the things you have to do as an individual and as a conscious businessman, you have to track your expenses. How do you track your expenses? You record. Now, I discovered that it is tiring or it is a bit demanding recording everything. So I devised a system for myself. Every expenses I'm making goes through my OP account. Why? At the end of the month, OP has something called income statement or statement of account. And it is usually more comprehensive than the regular banks. I can see the income statement, I can see the statement of my account last year on my OP. So all I need to do is go. Let's give you an instance now. Go to your OP. This tracking expenses. Okay? You see transaction history. Hit it. On the top corner, you see the month of the year you are. On that top corner, you will see in, you will see out. That in, it means expenses. That out is the money you spent. Sorry, that in is income, the money that entered this account. Out is the money that left the account. So now, today is what? Oh, Jesus is Lord. How much have you spent? I know. How much have you spent? 22,000. How much have you spent? Yes, between today's second line. You spent 18 kobo. Okay. Any other person? So now you see all category. You see all category there. Do you recharge your phone? Do you recharge your phone with this particular account? For me now, I recharge my phone. So now if I want to track my expenses now, all I need to go is that category. I will do airtime. I'll do airtime. Then I will change the month. Change the month to last month. Confirm. So come and tell me how much I recharged last month. That is the amount I spent on airtime. It's called tracking your expenses. So, as a businessman, it's either I reduce talking on phone. It's kind of large. Spending that kind of amount. Now this same now is not something else for another person. For my own level, it's a bit like 27,000. That's 3,000 short of 30,000 on airtime. You've not included data. And I consume data a lot. She shops for me sometimes. What I do require me to use data. Are you here? So now, for you to track, this is just me teaching you the hacks, life hacks. So, external speaking, corporate classes, all these things I'm doing. This is prosperity agreement. So, if you want to contact me, to come and do this, there's somebody that you have to go through. It's called the PR office. See, you have to know you. So if you want to call me now, good afternoon, sir. We need you to be in so place for a teaching or a preaching engagement. This is the PR number. Call the PR and book the appointment. Good afternoon. Is this Brain Sagima? Yes. We want you to come to render services. There's somebody you have to talk to do that. Then me personally. There are definite numbers, phone numbers, and also account numbers that handles that. You don't mix all. And if you are here and you've not registered your business, go and register your business. Why? There are certain organizations don't deal with individuals, they deal with a corporate entity. They will not send money into your personal account. Are you here? There are some organizations, some clients will not pay money into your personal account. It has to be a corporate account. Go register your business, even if it's business name. Start with that one. At least that one gives you the liberty to get business name. To get a corporate account rather. And thank God to Money Point. That makes things easier. But I think them too, you have to have the business name. But it's not as tedious. To open a corporate account with them, it's not as tedious as the traditional banks. Are you here? Are we together? So, income statement is the document that contains your what? Your income and your expenses. So, if your expenses are more than your income, there's a problem. As a business person, you are running at a loss. As an individual, you will be in debt. So, the best thing for you is to cut down your expenses. We'll talk that one in money management. We'll discuss that one better in money management. There's something we call compound interest. Compound interest is cumulated interest over time. I gave that instance when I gave this 10 naira per transaction that Money Point charges. Then what is tax? Tax is the amount of money you pay to the government for being or doing business in that country. Every system, every nation you go to, they pay tax. So for you to that they will tax, it's called personal tax. Income tax, rather. Now, there are certain things that they've taken out VAT from. Value added tax. That's what we call VAT. They've taken it out from. The government has done tax reform. Do you know these things? The tax laws in Nigeria are different from the tax laws in America. In Nigeria, if you evade tax or don't pay your tax, the penalty might not be as strenuous or as deadly as if you miss your tax in America or UK. It's a criminal offense. They will call you a thief, sentence you to jail. Messi almost went to jail. Ronaldo almost went to jail. Not because they killed or stole, or because of taxes. And you know the amazing thing? They are not the one that handles their finances. Those guys are so big, their revenue are so big that they have accountants and people that handle those things. It was those people that handle those things that didn't pay the taxes. But whose name it was at stake? Their own name. Are you here? Deficit spending. What is deficit? Deficit simply means debt. You are spending money in the future that you've not gotten. Now, my salary is coming. Please borrow me 20,000 naira. You spend 20,000 naira from 100,000 naira that you earn in 30 months' time. It's called deficit spending. Debit is when money leaves you. Credit is when money comes to you. So credit is like income. Debit is what? Expenses. Look at me. Everybody look at me. Every dime that left you as expenses entered somebody's pocket as income. Every money you've ever spent that left you entered somebody's pocket as income. So what is wisdom? You need to develop a system that when people spend, it also enters your income. It also enters your pocket. Every debit alert you receive, somebody is being credited. The money left you into somewhere. It's everybody do with money. You either everybody do with money. You either spend it, save it, or invest it. Every money that left your hand was entered in one of these categories. You either spent the money, you saved the money, or you invested the money. So to manage money effectively, you have to know the exact amount it costs you to survive in a month. You have to know the exact amount it costs you to survive a month. For our brethren that are in Europe and the West, they know that in this month I need $10, I need $100 rent or $500 rent for this week. They know. They know they need $200 to feed. They know they need $50, $60 for transportation. So cumulatively, the guy knows that he needs a minimum of $1,000 a week. If he doesn't get anything, for any reason whatsoever, he doesn't have that $1,000 for a week, he knows he will struggle that week. He also knows he will struggle that month. The reason why it's like that for them is because bills are very serious there. So as a person or as a business owner, to manage your money effectively, to manage your resources effectively, you have to know exactly how much it will cost you to be open for your business to run effectively for 1 month. Or you have to start with 1 week, then you have to start further to 1 month. As an individual, you have to know how much it will cost you to survive a month. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? So therefore, we now have what we call budgeting. Budgeting. What makes money management a bit difficult is because most times the resources are not enough. It's a problem most average, middle class, and poor people have. Not enough resources. Not enough resources is a problem. So managing it becomes difficult. So there's what we call budgeting. To manage money effectively, you must learn how to budget. To budget to budget effectively, you must know the cost, what it costs you to survive a month. So number one, you must feed. You must move from one place to another. If you go to work, you must go to work. If you're working, you must go to work. So in that salary that you are earning, there is feeding, basic. Then there is transportation, basic. Hope you know the state of unemployment is in this town is so terrible that most jobs people get don't cover these two things. Most jobs people are doing don't cover feeding and transportation. Is that terrible? I remember I told you guys something last month called underemployment. Is that bad? So the question is, how is that person surviving? How is that person surviving? To manage money effectively, you track this thing. Feeding, transportation, clothing. Now, having studied wealth and studied wealthy people, I've come to realize that it's poor people that try to look rich. The wealthy people don't care. It's amazing. And I've come to also realize that now poor people have more children than wealthy people. Why? Why? Knowledge. Good. Why? Why do poor people have more children than wealthy people? Is it? Ignorance. Are you sure? Yes, no, it's ignorance. Knowledge, ignorance. Any other reason? Thank you. It's the African mindset. Not knowing that it is the amount of investment you make in the child that will determine whether the child will take care of you tomorrow. Are you here? See, one of the skills you need to have as an entrepreneur is your ability to be teachable. And what does it mean to be teachable? Your ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn new things. There are certain things they gave birth to you and you saw them as a norm. When I got married, I didn't give birth immediately. Everybody was talking. My mother was talking. My mother-in-law was talking. At first, it wasn't getting to my wife. But my next thing started getting to her. I said, Auntie, now you and me did this house. Now you know what we dey face for this house. Now this can only work if you are single. It can only work if you are single. This is the balance. You cannot tell your family to do one. Now, I amazingly hope you know their family surviving like that. They only cook once in the house. How you survive tea when the food is ready? Are you here? So number one, the quality, the number of food, and the next thing is the quality of food. If you know, eating in Chicken Republic or a fancy restaurant will cost more. Uncle, calm down. We're talking money management now, how to manage your resources. Your aim, it is not how much you earn that matters. It's how much you keep. How much you keep after you've earned that matters. You are a guy, you have a bad habit, you must do 2 bottles every evening. You must do 2 bottles every evening. Now 1 bottle is 1.5. 2 bottles is 3,000. Do the math. You must do 2 bottles. If you not do, you not go sleep well. Do you know maintaining an addiction is very expensive? Maintaining an addiction is very expensive. An average person that smokes 3 times a day. Go and check how much they sell one. Are you here? So you have to check the quality of food. Do mama put you not die? At least for now, while you are thriving to eat buffet. Are you here? Are you here? So food, you must not necessarily do 3 meals a day. Do 1, do 2. Reduce it. Save that extra money. It's called money management. Number 2, transportation. There are certain places in town I know that this along system in Abuja doesn't work. I understand. In those cases, you can do your boat. But if you can have alternative. Now, I am saying this. If you can afford this thing comfortably, no problem. Oh. We are talking about the people that are trying to manage these little resources that they don't have. If the distance is a bit walkable, walk, do exercise. If you can walk it, walk, do the exercise. But if you can't, try to use the best effective and affordable means of transportation you can use. My friend wanted to go to Kwara for a business trip, and he went to go and price the ticket. They told him 300k. He said, going and coming, I'll be only going. So only going. Now called is a friend. Now, how much be by road go Kwara? Say na 30,000. Say na 30,000. Say Baba will go by road. Do you understand? Do you know the truth? He had the 600k, but he at his level he cannot spend 600k on flight. He knows, he understands it. The fact that you can buy something once and the first time does not mean you can afford it. A secular artist say, if you cannot buy anything twice, you cannot afford it. So let's give an instance. For the fact that he had 600k in his account now, that he can pay for that particular flight to and fro. If anything happens that requires him to be in Kwara next week, you know, so you know if you go by air again. So can he really afford it? No. So anything you cannot buy twice, you can't afford it. Now let me now say this. If you work in a place and you cannot afford the services rendered in that place, respect the people that patronize that place. There are people working in restaurant, they can't buy food in the restaurant, even with their salary. And you are looking down on the person coming to come and drink water in the restaurant. Do you know what it means to sit somewhere and drink water for 5? The same aquafina that you can drink anywhere. And you are thinking, you're saying, yes, now only water in buy. Are you high? Are we together? Are we together? So transportation, the places that you can move are the cheapest that you can afford. Fine. Now, however, this is now the balance. Women, Women are the only set of people that they will enter keke with you and be looking down on you. 2 of them are keke. See, the guy even get mind. They ask 2 of them are keke. You sat in along that 2 people will be in front. 2 of you are in front, and she's looking. Don't talk to me. You know you fear. Fear what? If you are better, do a better transportation system. And you're looking down on the guy. Are you here? Are you here? If you can afford these things, no problem. We are trying to address people that have resources that are not really enough. Now, this is the balance I was trying to say. May the Lord deliver you and other people that carry 3 children, 1 and 2 other, and they want to enter public and pay 1 seat. That one is not management, it's poverty. And may the Lord deliver you from that one. Madam, you self be fair. If you were that driver, you want to collect 1 seat. You, the toddler you are carrying and the infant you are carrying, all of you want to stay on 1 seat. Haba now. Haba. Parkway, no park for the front of the house. How you take notes and I mean get the car? I wasn't embarrassed, but I was offended. Because they wanted me to move, let a Range Rover park. And then I thought I had to go move, but I know they come outside. I go park inside. So I had to go somewhere to go and park, but it was in the. I refused to go outside the premises. Me too, in a car, I drive. So if I'm thinking of movement from one place, I'm not thinking of a Rolls Royce. I won't be thinking of a Range Rover. No. But if you are thinking of status quo, that's where those luxury stuff, the Lorex, the paints, and that's when they come in. But if you just want to solve a problem of transportation, moving from one place to another, then barest minimum. Are we together? Clothing, like I said, you must not wear Gucci. You must not wear Fenty. This is now the balance. It will not cost the tailor anything to shape it to yourself. I've realized lately, I don't know whether it is Yahoo boys that have told these people not to sell any slim or small shirt again. All t-shirts are big. I asked, I know be Yahoo boy. I don't want to wear a burger. Give me the one that is my size. This is now the balance. Don't go and be wearing oversized clothes. But no. And they keep a skin cut. Hope you know we're at a checkpoint. Who do you think the police will look suspicious? The guy with the dreadlocks. If you dress in a certain way, you attract a certain kind of people. Wisdom is profitable direct. Let me now still say this. You said you wanted to do music. You are an upcoming artist. And there are certain things we Africans have not really normalized yet. Understand it. Every knowledge you have is contextual. You have to know how to apply it in the context of where you live. You are an upcoming artist. And you have tattoos everywhere. You never blow. You are looking this tattered. How will help come? You are an upcoming artist. You don't have a good character. You are ill-mannered. And you want helper. You are rude. Claiming to be Gen Z. Whichever dispensation and era you find yourself, a respectful person will always have an edge over a disrespectful person. Whichever generation you are. Whichever. You are just starting out in business or in whatever thing you're doing. And you want to look like the person you say is your idol or your mentor. Not knowing that that person is a particular place. Imagine me now telling you my spiritual father does not have WhatsApp. He just came on WhatsApp last year or this year. And me, a businessman, will now say, no, I'm following the footsteps of my spiritual father. I will not have WhatsApp. Meanwhile, most of my jobs are delivered through WhatsApp. Or you say Apostle Zeman is your spiritual, is your mentor. You are not on social media. And you're a business person. The first point of contact anybody has with me is my social media handle. Good afternoon. You have somebody referred me. Can I? Entertainment. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way. As for me, as a person, what I do require me to be online most of the time, if not all the time. Most of the time. Because there are some people, there are some international organizations that might not be able to call your local number. They call you via WhatsApp. I need to be readily available. There are certain links, there are certain deliveries that you have to do. You have to use data to send them. So it requires me being online. So if you see that I spent that amount of money on airtime, my brother, when I'm charging a client, your method of delivery, which is data, is included in the fee I'm giving you. I'm a businessman. In your costing, in your, you now say, in your costing, how to give the cost or a price tag for your product, you have to include every expenses you make to bring that product. That is why a bottle of water in Transcorp is not the same with outside Transcorp. Why? They factor the salary of the guy that is coming to come with that water. That's why it's that expensive. They factor the ambience, what it costing them to have that water cold or chilled at all times. Then the environment, the ambience is chilled, is calm, AC is running. They factor everything. That is why that water is at that price. So me, as a business person, I factor data and airtime in every job I'm doing. So you don't see that I'm spending so amount on data. No, I'm doing a business. So you, for your personal consumption, you have to check out your entertainment. An average poor man will choose entertainment over education, while an average good businessman and a wealthy man chooses education over entertainment. Two-Face said something. You follow me go party or follow me go club. You don't know say me a day work. He was paid to go there. You spent money to go there. Are you here? You have to understand it. There's a difference between going to see a movie in a cinema and downloading a movie to watch. It's not the same. There's the experience of going to the cinema. It's there. That's what you are paying for. But it is the same movie you are watching. It's the same movie you are watching. Reduce your cost of entertainment. Data is the new oil. Data is the new oil. Last year, there was a report that Nigerians use 5.6 billion naira worth of data for one particular network. Hope you know that you are in a time where you don't mind using your last money to buy data. You'll be hungry. Just stay online. Curtail it. Are you here? So in managing your resources, there is a formula. We call it the 10-20-70 principle. We'll be rounding up any moment from now. It's called the 10-20-70 principle. What does the 10-20-70 principle mean? This, if you put 10-20-70 together, is 100%. Abi, 10% of your income for we that are Christian is for tithing. 20% is for saving. Then the 70% is the one we live on. So you have to design your finance in such a way that anything that 70% cannot cover, you don't buy. Period. Apply this principle, or you can only save if you have an income. If you don't have a steady income, savings will be difficult. Because now who they are alive, they save. Do you understand? You cannot save money, die of hunger, and nest of king eats the money. So first thing first, if you don't have a steady sense of income, which is what we said, our assignment last month was you need to figure out how to earn. That was our assignment last month. If you didn't have a job, go get a job. If you didn't, go start a business, do something. If you have that is not enough, start an additional stream of income. That was our assignment for last month. So let's assume that you did that, you are now earning. So now is management of the resources that started to come. You are supposed to live on only 70%. This thing is easier said than done. I just said, if you have an income statement where your expenses is more than your income, it will be difficult to save. It will be difficult maintaining this. It will be difficult. We're talking money management. One of the things that affect we Africans, or one of the expenses that affect us we Africans, is helping relations. It's a two-sided coin, or it's a two-edged sword. In Africa, we don't have social security. We don't have insurance systems where if anything happens to me now, insurance company covers it like that. Even if we have, it's for the big class. So we, the average people now, our insurance system is our relations. Our insurance systems are our relations. We don't throw away family. We don't throw away family. Go to the West, you see wealthy people, their siblings are suffering. Now, the man that has made the money doesn't owe you anything. However, there are certain benefits of having me as your relation. Number one is spiritual covering as a pastor. Scripture has promised me and told me that nothing will happen. So since you have me as a sibling, Alpha, that's way they do stop and me go give you problem. So that had means to help but didn't help. Now they are in a position that they cannot help their children. The people they refuse to help has broken even, and the people are retaliating. In as much as it's not good, but it's the seed you sowed. 1 verse 20. that there is always oil every month and you finish everything. The Bible has described you, not me. Always have something left. There are systems of, that's the reason why we're having this class. There are systems where you can put money and lock it. The system. I use Cowrywise. Then some other people have something they call contribution, Adashi, Osusu. Keep it there. The difference between Dadashi or contribution or Osusu and Cowrywise is when you set Cowrywise or piggy vest, even if Jesus appear, it will not open until that date. Now it helps. Now I just told you that as a person now, I cannot readily tell certain people I don't have. But if the money is where I cannot access, I can't access it. I don't have it. But do you know what? Somehow the person will find a way to solve that problem. Somehow. So contribution, you can call. They can do an exemption for you. But this other one, till that date. So as an advice or as a counsel, I advise you lock it 3 months and it comes with an interest. You can put the money there and lock it. It helps you save. Why? Make it a point of duty that you don't spend everything that comes into your hand. Save no matter how small. If 20% is too big for you to save, do the barest minimum, 10%. But any dime that enters you, there's a reason why we are stressing this. Reason being that so that you cannot be at the mercy of people. We are going to close with this. There's a level in financial management that it is advised you have 6 to 8 months of your living expenses saved somewhere that you should have access to it. If you don't have that thing yet, you are still a poor man. Write it down. If you don't have 6 to 8 months of your living expenses saved somewhere, cash, no, not asset, saved somewhere as cash in case anything happened. This principle was taught and people took it for granted until COVID happened. That people didn't work. There are certain people, if they don't work, they will not eat. And if you are at that level, it's a starting point. Leave that place. If you don't work, you will not eat. Your energy is your capital. Leave that point. Your aim generally should be to create a system that works without you and generate revenue without you necessarily being involved. That's what we call financial freedom. Then there's another form of financial freedom where you don't have to work, but your needs will be met. Are you here? If your primary aim for the next 2-3 years, it should be that you have the raw cash of your 2 to 3 months of your living expenses saved somewhere. Peradventure, you lose your job. Peradventure, you get sick. Something happen. That money sustain you. No matter how severe your situation is, in 4-5 months you can solve it. Even if you lose your job, in the next couple of months you get a job. But it should not be obvious that something happened to you and everybody knows something happened to you because you cannot take care of yourself again. Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? We're going to pause here for today. Yes. Give him a mic. Let's go, mic. Twice. Press it twice. Auntie, calm down. Let me have it. The battery's dead.
Praise God. Sir, there was something you said a couple of minutes ago, and the thing really got me baffled. And I don't know. You said, I was doing a salary work before I got myself into this. and there was something you said. In fact, my salary used to be high, but it wasn't. In fact, it wasn't up to my transport and my feeding. So now, how do I get to extract my 20% savings? So sometimes, I mean, sometimes some people look looking like at someone like one is not serious, but the truth is that the income is not even enough for transportation.
Are we together? I said, when I said that, and also said that most times we have a problem of salary not being enough. So the principle is save before you spend, not spend before you save. Take out that money and save first before you spend. No matter what, I've come to realize that you will survive the month. That's number one. Number two, any money they gift you within the month, you are not expecting the money. Were you expecting the money? It came as a gift. Save it. Any gift, any financial gift you get, today is your birthday, take 10K, take 20K. It's not time to go and do the remainder. Those ones are for, because you were not expecting the funds. Whether the funds came or not, you would have survived. True or false? So, number one, you say, now I'm saying this because we that are teaching this principle, we don't adhere to them 100% of the time. However, that's where the balance is, where somebody wakes up and make a certain outrageous testimony. My friend woke up one day and said he saved 100% of his NYSC allowance. I said it's not possible. He said I said it's not possible. He said it's possible. I said it's not possible. He now ask me, why are you not saying it's not possible? Were you not eating? Were you not going? Say, oh, that's true. So how were you footing those bills? His PPA was giving him stipend. And I told him, if you they share testimony, make sure say you include, say, your PPA was giving you a stipend. So that you're not going to put somebody under pressure. Now you saved 100% of your NYSC allowance. It's not possible. It's not practical. So this is what he did. His PPA was giving him a certain stipend. So he made it in such a way he was living on that particular thing. So whenever the NYSC, he didn't even have access to it. So for an entire year, when it was done, he had a chunk of money left. But in as much as he was living on the PPA, it was not necessarily that big, but he applied certain principles. Number one, he was feeding a day, once a day. If you cook, he follow you chop. If you invite them, if you don't invite them, he stay there. That's what I say. These things are a bit easy to a certain level if you are single. Hope you know, if I visit my brother there, after he gives me a good meal, and my people have not eaten at home, I'm not still yet at peace. I have to look for a way they eat, in as much as I have eaten. But if I was single, God don't settle us for today. God has settled us for today. You understand? So first thing first, save before you spend. In as much as I'm saying this, sometimes the needs are so pressing that you just have to. The take-home pay these days is not even enough to take you home. I'm serious. There's something called inflation. When I was in school, we had two sets of buses Gogolada to town. One was white, one was green. The green buses were 250 from this same Gogolada here to town. And the reason why it was 250 is because it had AC. Then they had another one, 150. This was 2011, 2010, 2012, 2013. It's not 20 years ago. It's recently. Now, amazingly, people saw the 250 expensive. How much are you paying now to town? How much are you paying? No, whichever way. To town. No, not staff bus. I'm saying regular transportation. Public transport. No, just going. The same destination. Now, have you also noticed that some people's income have not really increased, but life has increased? So this is now the balance where the people teaching these things don't come. It's a bit difficult sometimes. However, this is the trick I use. This is me giving you true confession. Most times I don't save from all incomes that come. However, I know how my income come. Sometimes I can get 300K at once. Then after that 300 come, me, this is personal. Out of that 300, I make sure 100K is being saved. Then within the weeks that 10K, 50, 100 is coming, that one I can blow it because I know I have certain things to make. Now, you also you also need to learn how to balance debt. Because like I said, any month that is not enough, the money is not, you will borrow. You will borrow. You have to learn how to balance debt. If you are owing somebody a chunk of money, most times it will be nice you pay back that chunk of money. Because if you split the money for the person might not use it. Number one is be polite enough and reasonable enough to communicate to the person. Baba, I told you that this thing will be ready at so time. It's not yet ready. Please give me more time. Do it as often as you can. Then if you can't get it in chunk, the best you should do is share the money into two. Give the first half, give the second half. So how do you do? Go back to your income. Devise. If you are owing, if your total amount of debt is 100K that you are owing, and you know that your salary is 100K, so you cannot carry 100K and give the person everything. So God drives a system, 15K for a period of time. I will raise that person's money to give the person. I will raise that person's money to give the person. Save a particular amount. It could be 5% of what you're earning. But in whatever you do, try not to earn every month. Try not to earn every month. Try to earn weekly. It's better. It's easier. It makes life easier. Are you here? Are you here? If you earn every month and you want to save 10% to pay somebody 100K, it will take 10 months. Nobody wants you to own the person for 10 months. Are you here? Any other question? I'm trying to close.
The aspect where you say that children are liabilities, right? But for some cases, like when you see the celebrities, there are some children where at a very young age, they are being given some skills. And when they stay online, at that young age, they become celebrities. So in that case, they are kind of like assets to parents.
Now, in that case, the child has a specific gift that the child has, Abi, and the parents are the one that harnessed that gift at that young age, not the child. The parents are the one that harnessed that gift at the young age, true or false, not the child. So what happens if the child does not have a special gift? Okay, let me now say 90% of kids are liabilities. Let's leave the 10% to these other ones that have certain special gifts that make money for their parents at the tender age. Now, that thing comes with a side effect. It comes with a side effect. I wouldn't want to call names. But I've seen... have you noticed that most children's celebrities don't turn out well when they grow up into adults? Have you noticed? 95% of them don't turn out well. Reason being that I've had this theory for a long time. I was saying, when you pledge allegiance to the devil, the first thing he gives you is money. Why? The prosperity of fools destroys them. He will use that money that he has given you to destroy you. But when you pledge allegiance to God, the first thing he gives you is wisdom. Wisdom will give you money and preserve your life. So what happened to these children celebrity now? They are if you have whiskey money at the age you had to borrow money, you will misbehave. Do you know what it means to be a billionaire at that age? He made money in his 20s, in his mid-20s. He's just 35. He made his first million, 25 thereabout. You go do worst. Do you understand? Why? They have not matured to handle those things. If you notice, especially for the foreign guys, they do a lot of drugs. A lot of them go into drugs. A lot. Why? They have enough resources that can enable them to do certain things. And the system is so bad that the management of that child can go to court and make it in such a way that the parent of the children doesn't have right over the children. True or false? So this is now the balance. It's not all. Some have special gifts that they become blessing to their parents. As a matter of fact, there are certain athletes that they were the one that delivered their lineage from poverty. Number one, Osime. So now validating this your principle now. And I say, is he a liability? No, he's not. But they are the few. No matter how wealthy Davido is, he's not anything to his father. Do you understand? His wealth is nothing compared to his dad. As a matter of fact, his dad is the one that takes care of certain of the excesses that he's doing. When he had the problem with that Sophie lady, the dad, the materials that we saw online, it was a communication between Davido's dad and the lady. It was the man as a responsible man that took the responsibility. True or false? Are we together? Have I answered your question? Any other question? Ask.
Like the country which we live in now, Nigeria, and we see that we have issue with electricity, unlike here in the Western country. Somebody wants to go into this. Would you advise the person ventures into the solar panel or into generators and
Okay, you mean if you want to do the power business, not that you want to generate power? Okay. What I will advise? Okay. What I will advise is, if you can generate power, generate power. If you can. If you have the money to generate power, you can generate power. Just like Dangote had to deliver Nigeria from this refinery problem. However, you know they are fighting him. I hope you know that. And hope you also know that the reason why the power is not stable in the country is because certain people don't want it to be stable. So since they don't want it to be stable, they will fight you that wants it to be stable, in as much as you are providing solution to the problem. Hope you know. The person that will fight power is the people that are highest importers or importers of generator. They're the ones selling it. And the people selling solar panels. The reason why solar panels is selling. Now, amazingly, I've said this, the people that are producing these things are not using in their countries. So the reason why solar is selling in the country presently is because power is not good. So if you can go into that one, fine. If there's a market for it. But I would advise, if you have the resources, generate the power. But whatever it is you want to do, you have to contend with those forces that has made it impossible for us to have constant power. Now, let me now shock you. For us to know that this thing is artificial, hope you know for the past 25 years or 23 years, there have never been power outage in Canaan land. Same country. Same with redemption camp. Same country. So what did those people do that a nation cannot do it? You get? So our advice, if you can generate power, generate power. If you can't generate power, do solar panels. Thank you. Yes, sir.
My question is for someone who is going into business, or let's say after acquiring a skill, you decide to go into business with that skill, and then you decide to relocate. How do you build your client? Yes, clientele.
I said something here about service and endorsement. If I relocate from Nigeria right now to another country, I will go and apply for internship in a media company in that country. Do you understand? You have to leverage on the legacy or on a system created by somebody there. So take for instance, you're a fashion designer, you left Nigeria. You have to look for a fashion house there. Stay for a while. If it comes with a pay, glory to God. If it doesn't come with a pay, you have to look for a way to sustain yourself while you are growing the clientele. Why? The person you are with it will get to a certain stage, the demand for him, he will not be able to meet the demands for his orders. And you are next. Go do this one. Do this one. By so doing, you have now started being exposed to people. You understand this? Now, you don't do it with the aim of stealing the people's clients. Don't do it with the aim of stealing the people's client. Do it with the aim of being validated by this person. Let me now say this to people that have trainees and apprentices under them. If you have a trainee or an apprentice under you, and a particular gig, a particular job comes that is below your own standard, don't reject the job. Collect the job. Send your trainee or apprentice to go and do it. Send the person. Don't be scared. Send the person to go and do it. It does something. It makes the person, it creates revenue for the person. And it also makes the person appreciate the fact that you value him or her around you. You get? Which is what we call referral. So if you have learned a skill and you want to live where you are to another place, you have to leverage on the knowledge and the wealth and the clientele base, the person of somebody that's already there. So you can either do that either as intern, apprentice, or you work for free. Or if you get a job there and they are paying you fine. Last question. Thank you very much for your patience and your time. The first Saturday of next month is what? Were you blessed? Did you learn? I didn't stretch time, Abby. First Saturday of next month is of September is what? 6th. So our next breakfast business webinar is what? 6th of next month. Are we together? Thank you very much. Let us share the grace. You don't want to close? You can sit down. Share the grace. Surely. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed. You were blessed. You enjoyed the session. Like I said, our aim is not the people here. That's why we're not bothered. Our aim is the global audience. Thank you very much. Have an awesome weekend.